So friends, on behalf of Higher Education Forum and also on behalf of SI School of Learning and Leadership Development, we extend all of you a very hearty welcome for this very interesting talk on a very interesting topic which is going to have today. At the outset, let me thank you very much for having been with us in the late evening, maybe before dinner, maybe after dinner. And I'm also thankful to the speaker that he has been kind enough to be with us at a late evening after the whole day's work. Today's talk is going to be on a very new generation topic. Let me put in that new generation topic, which is called Metaverse. Even I'm not aware of much of it. Whatever I've heard, I think it is exciting thing to come. It is exciting thing come because we have heard about the augmented reality, we have heard about the virtual reality, but it's going to be the end of that world and probably the beginning of a new world altogether, where we'll see our hologram sitting somewhere else and we will actually relish it. So that's the type of the world which are going to be in, and it's going to have a long-standing impact not only on the corporate sector, but it's going to have all individuals, including the education sector. So to talk on this particular topic, we have a very renowned person with us, who is also on our advisory board of SI School of Learning and Leadership Development, Chintan Oza. Chintan is a renowned name in the area of the technology. He's a technology expert. He has worked in the various technology companies in the senior positions, and right now he is the founder of our own company, which is called Anantam Ecosystem. He's also a very strong, what you call serial entrepreneur, as well as entrepreneurship supporter. He mentored a lot of entrepreneurs, and I'm sure of it that today's talk is going to be an extremely interesting talk on a very important talk. And I'm thankful to Chintan once again for having within us. Chintan, the floor is open to you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Professor Sengupta, sir. It's my pleasure to be here, and let's get going. Sir, kindly allow me to share my screen.
Yeah, I'll do it now.
Let me know when you are able to see my screen. Just show me a thumbs
I
up.
can. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let us begin our journey in the world of Metaverse. Welcome to the era of Metaverse. I have been adequately introduced. However, I would like to take a moment to encourage you to donate blood. What makes me say this is uh, just 3 days ago, I donated blood for 37th time. So there are a lot many people who are in need of blood, and your donation would help them extend their life by many days. So kindly make a point to donate blood as and when situation arises or time permits. Thank you so much, and let us get going. So this is going to be the agenda for the day. We'll start with the concept. What is metaverse? Why it is? What is the social impact? What is history and evolution of metaverse? Certain technical aspects, a broad overview. What is the economic and social implications of metaverse? Then I have my khajana for you, which is 36 use cases in various industries. Then we'll go through 50 use cases in education. So how metaverse can be used in these multiple use cases, and then we conclude the session by having a Q&A. So let us begin. So we will start with concept and social impact. So the metaverse is a term which is used to describe a virtual shared space where users can interact with each other and digital objects in a manner similar to physical world. So as we all know, there are certain keywords, right? A virtual shared multiple people together can join in, where users can interact with each other. I can interact with digital objects. I can interact with you. Digital objects can also interact with each other in a manner has been popularized in science fiction for decades, but advances in technology such as virtual and augmented reality, 5G, as well as blockchain have made it possible for a realistic adoption. Until recently, we were not having high speed internet. Until recently, we were not having affordable virtual reality headsets, headgears. Right now, these headgears are available on less than 1,000 rupee cost on Amazon. In case someone wants to try a headset, ping me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to assist. What is the social impact of metaverse? There is a potential impact of metaverse on society, which is vast and far reaching. This is the reason it becomes essential for all of us to have this call and then get introduced to metaverse. Metaverse could change the way we interact with each other, the way we communicate with each other, we conduct the business, the way we conduct the business. It could also have a significant impact on the economy because all of a sudden a parallel digital world is created. There is a huge opportunity for creating new industries and new jobs. Additionally, metaverse could provide new opportunities for education, entertainment, and social interaction. This is where the adoption has already begun. I have several information about the real world happenings around us. Probably when I show this to you, you would realize that yes, I have seen these or read these news items. However, the development of the metaverse also raises a number of ethical and legal questions. With rise of technology, the concern about technology also are discussed. Like who will govern and regulate the metaverse? How will the issues of privacy, security, intellectual property be addressed? As and when metaverse become more immersive, there are concerns about the negative impact. People feel isolated. People lose social connections. And there are other mental wellness related challenges. However, overall, the metaverse is a concept that has potential to revolutionize the way we live, work, and interact. But it's important that we consider the potential consequences and address any issues that may arise as it develops. We are making the technology and we have to be careful while we develop it. Let us go through the history and evolution. So it is just the table. The first era of internet was called Web 1. Right now we are somewhere in between Web 2 and Web 3. The future of internet is called Web 3. If we look at the medium of interaction, for Web 1 it was read only. For Web 2 we could read as well as write. For Web 3 we can read, write and own. Right now ownership in web is not possible. Like one of your poem can be easily copied by me from Facebook and then put it on Twitter. Or someone can not trade their own digital assets. The medium of interaction was static text in terms of Web 1, where those banners above the inbox of your email were static. Same banner was shown to number of users across the network. However, in Web 3, it became interactive where you can have certain banner published in Delhi, some other banner published in Chennai, some other banner published in Singapore. So the customization and opportunity to target various users based on their geographical interest and need of business was possible. In Web3, it would go beyond. It will reach micro targeting level, wherein, based on your interest, you would see various ads popping up on your screen. A flavor of which we have seen already. If you just search tickets for Goa, and you would have observed that lot many ads regarding air travel, hotel stay in Goa would start popping up in your browser. The ownership, the organization, Web1 was created by various companies. The participation was by various companies. Web2 was dominated by various platforms, and Web3 would be dominated by various networks. The infrastructure component, the unit infrastructure was personal computers for Web1. Web2, it was cloud and mobile. And for Web3, it would be blockchain. As far as the control is concerned, Web 1 and Web 3 are decentralized, while Web 2 was a centralized architecture. So, as and when you click your Gmail, you have to compulsorily access the server of Gmail in their own network, in their native country. If you want to access Facebook, you have to access their server in respective geographies only. Just for example, for Web1, it would be Netscape. Netscape was a browser, many of us would remember, the Netscape Explorer. For Web2, it is Facebook, and Web3, the example would be Metaverse. Now let us have a look at a video. I will share my sound.
Sometimes complex terms thrown around by the tech industry can make you feel like you are reading another language. But we don't want that to happen, do we? So on Tech It Out, we keep trying to break down tech jargon to truly understand what the innovation is all about. Today, the tech concept that we are going to demystify is Metaverse. We will tell you what it is and why the tech community is passionately discussing it. Apparently, Facebook is going a step further. According to a media report, the social network giant is planning to rebrand itself with a new name that focuses on the Metaverse. Here is a report.
Metaverse is the hot new buzzword in tech. To understand it, let's talk about how we engage with people on the internet. We go to different websites, such as social media platforms or messaging applications, communicate with other users via text, share multimedia, and make video calls. Metaverse aims to take this experience a notch higher. The idea is to create new online spaces in which people's interactions can be more multidimensional, where users are able to immerse themselves in digital content rather than simply viewing it. So, Metaverse basically refers to digital spaces which are made more lifelike by the use of virtual reality or augmented reality. In other words, it's an online world where people can use different devices to move and communicate in a virtual environment. Some people even use the word metaverse to describe gaming worlds in which users have a character that can walk around and interact with other players.
I'm sorry.
Science fiction is another example. Many sci-fi films are set in fully fledged metaverses, meaning they are set in alternative digital worlds which are indistinguishable from the real physical world. Until now, this was the stuff of fiction, but the concept is catching on. The who's who of the tech world are now seeing a virtual reality universe as the future of the internet. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has said that the company will try to transition from being a social media company to a metaverse company in the next. The tech giant has even announced plans to create 10,000 jobs in the European Union over the next 5 years to help build the so-called metaverse. Microsoft also intends to converge the digital and physical worlds. The popular children's game Roblox describes itself as a metaverse company. Epic Games' Fortnite is also considered to be a part of the metaverse. Musicians can do virtual concerts within these platforms. For example, in September, millions of people watched the singer Ariana Grande virtually perform in Fortnite. The world's biggest fashion companies have also experimented with making virtual clothing, which people's avatars can wear in metaverse environments. The potential of this emerging technology is limitless. The accelerated interest in the metaverse can be seen as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, as more people have started working and going to school remotely. There has been an increase in demand for ways to make online interactions more lifelike. Fans of the metaverse now see it as the next stage in the development of the internet.
Let us look at certain technical aspects. This is going to be a broad level overview, not a deep dive. So this is the experience stack, how the experience is delivered. There is hardware. The hardware is connected to various network components. We get connected to various compute environments, cloud, which helps us connect to virtual platforms. Virtual platforms are having multiple virtual reality standards. They are also connected with payment gateway because ultimately तो पैसे का ही कमाल है. And then afterwards there are various content providers who deliver the content to multiple users. So this is how the experience in metaverse is delivered. There are multiple technologies. As the video suggested, metaverse is a convergence of multiple technologies. It starts with virtual reality and augmented reality. Part of artificial intelligence and machine learning also gets involved in this, delivering this interactive user experience. Then as and when the content and monetization is concerned, blockchain plays an important role. If you have seen joystick in user's hand, these are nothing but various IoT devices. You have seen people wearing head-mounted gears, and there are certain probes which would also get connected to the head of the user. That indicates BCI. BCI means brain computer interface. Then afterwards, there are multiple users or experiences which are getting delivered as if they are in real world, and that is where 3D reconstruction technologies are used. And last but not the least, 5G. How can we forget high-speed internet? Apart from 5G, Wi-Fi 6 also supports these high-speed deployments. So in case if you have a Wi-Fi 6 enabled router at home, you can easily experience this future technology because Wi-Fi 6 is capable to deliver gigabit internet from your router to your device. So next time if you are buying a router for your home, make sure it is Wi-Fi 6 enabled. We call it 7 layers of metaverse. So it starts with the bottommost layer, which is infrastructure that has got 5G, Wi-Fi 6, 6G, cloud, and graphical processing units, which are located in cloud. Then comes human interface, which is mobile, wearables, smart glasses, or headsets. How we would interact with the metaverse. Then comes decentralization layer, which has got blockchain, various AI assistants, bots, and edge compute devices. Then comes spatial computing layer, which has got user interface, the 3D engine, not 3G, sorry, it's a typo, and various VR, VR, virtual reality, augmented reality, or extended reality tools. Then comes creator economy. This is where humans start working. They design various tools, they design various videos, various games, various experiences, various commercial workflows. When user comes, charge this much, and then show him this content, allow him to play certain games, etc. It also helps you to create various asset marketplaces for trading of digital assets like non-fungible tokens. We call it NFT. Then comes discovery, where various advertisement networks, various agents for marketing, various social rating agencies, and stores markets, shopping, marketplaces, and education are delivered. What is the economic and social implication? There's a huge potential. The creation of and maintenance of virtual worlds and avatars would create a big opportunity for various companies and individuals. This virtual economy within metaverse could lead to the development of new forms of currency like virtual tokens or in-game items. These virtual worlds will have their own currency. It's not Bitcoin, but called tokens. And that is how this world would move. Because in physical world, we have physical currency, but in digital world, the currency would be different. The metaverse could also lead to creation of new job opportunities, such as virtual world designers, community managers to keep the community engaged. There are people who are buying land in metaverse. They are creating properties in metaverse. The metaverse will also deliver the ability to conduct business and commerce with virtual worlds, potentially reduce the need for physical infrastructure and commercial real estate. In future, like right now, we are doing online shopping. Probably, if you want to buy something, you may not visit a mall, but you may visit a metaverse mall. Social impact. This is where many of us are concerned at times when such disruptive technologies are on the rise. But let us take it positively. A new space for social interaction and community building, potentially increasing social connection and reducing feelings of isolation. You can have multiple friends in different parts of the world as well. It also leads to creation of new forms of discrimination and prejudice based on factors such as avatar appearance or virtual status. There were certain examples where certain prejudice as far as races are concerned were also involved in while programming artificial intelligence. So that is the dark side of the technology. It provides new opportunities for education, skill building, allowing people to learn new practice and new skills and practice new tech in a virtual environment. Like there is a construction major who is using virtual reality to train their construction workers. These construction workers are deployed at certain location, they construct a flyover, and then they need to get updated with the challenges, the environment, and the expectation they are required to work on. And the construction major is using virtual reality to have a onboarding of these construction workers. It also helps us provide new opportunities for entertainment and escapism. You would have seen people who are heavy users of social media are actually isolated. They do not prefer to interact much. They become introvert, and that also help. I mean, there is a potential danger of increase in sedentary behavior and decrease of physical activity. It also leads to blurring of boundaries between virtual and physical worlds, potentially leading to changes how people perceive and interact with reality. However, let us understand how the world is moving. In 2021, the size of Metaverse market was 51 billion USD, and in 2030, just in 9 years' time, it is going to increase to 1.3 trillion US dollars. The market is growing at a 44% of CAGR. So almost every year, 44% growth is being observed. What are the advantages of metaverse? It provides us immersive and interactive virtual experiences, increase social connectivity and community building. One more opportunity to get connected. Right now, I just shared my LinkedIn profile. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Now in metaverse, I will also have one more opportunity. Me and Professor Sen Gupta can interact and then meet in virtual world as well. Greater accessibility to education and training, new opportunities for new knowledge, improved ability to conduct remote work and meetings. Now you can work remotely. You can also share your screen in metaverse. Enhanced opportunity for e-commerce and online marketplaces. Brands like Adidas, Nike are already in metaverse and they are selling virtual goods. Think of scenario when you would like to attend a party in metaverse and you don't have a shoe to wear. At that point of time, the new generation would go walk into a metaverse mall and purchase a attire which is exclusive for them. Increase ability to create and share user generated content. Right now, you and me are having a 2D medium, but what if we are in having this session, this interaction in metaverse? And if I am sharing certain user generated content like a graph, if we are having a business meeting, and if I am sharing a trend, actually all of you can play with the graph and understand. In current environment, you would see what I am showing it to you. But in metaverse, you will be able to zoom in, zoom out, and then zoom into part of the graph and then dig deep into the information which is being shared. It also helps us provide improved accessibility with people with disabilities. At times when people are not able to walk, then they can access metaverse, unlike internet. They can get onto internet, they can get into Zoom and then interact with other people. It helps us with greater ability for collaboration and innovation. Enhanced ability to visualize and interact with data, as I just mentioned earlier. It helps with potential for increased privacy and security because certain information on metaverse is backed by blockchain. So it provides higher security and higher privacy. If you want to demonstrate your art to certain select people, then you can restrict it in metaverse. It also provides us greater ability to express oneself creatively. If you are making a drawing in metaverse, you can not only have 3 dimension but fourth dimension as well, and then add various senses to it. It provides enhanced ability to access information, increased ability to preserve cultural heritage. Now the entire world is documenting the human race, history, culture in metaverse. So we also will have a opportunity to virtually visit pyramids, virtually visit Niagara Falls, and likewise other space stations can be visited virtually. So human minds will have more and more information and opportunity to get updated. It will also have greater ability to conduct scientific research and experimentation. Virtual labs are being set up in metaverse. So right now in physical world, you are actually mixing two chemicals and doing some experimentation. In virtual world, you would be just giving certain command to mix two chemicals and see the reaction. There is no real chemical, there is no wastage, but the entire lab works on certain logic and certain programs. Enhance ability to simulate and test real world scenarios. In future, human resources managers, HR, may take interview in metaverse. Right now, we are taking interview in 2D, wherein a person, a candidate is presented with a idealistic scenario and he is giving those Miss India answers, I call it. These are the answers which would be of his ideal self, but not the way he would behave in real world. Metaverse would help us to put the candidate in certain scenario, observe his decisions, how much time he is taking to decide, what is his eye movement, what are his thoughts, and that is how we can select a better candidate. There are definitely disadvantages to metaverse. Lack of regulation and oversight. There is no governing authority. People can develop certain things which may have a backdoor entry for them. There is a potential of misuse and abuse because they are not governed, they are not secure. Increased risk of addiction. Once you start consuming the content on metaverse, you feel to spend more and more time there. It also has got a potential for increased polarization and echo chambers. People will actually start interacting less and then certain polarization would start. Risk of loss of privacy and security. Risk of accelerating existing inequalities. These inequalities would again increase. Risk of job loss and economic disruption. While I mentioned there will be new opportunities, but people are used to learn something and live the life as they are to retire. If they do not upgrade and upskill themselves, then there would be a risk of job loss. The world is moving towards metaverse. If people are not advancing themselves, then probably they are at risk of job loss, and there may be economic disruption, either on positive or negative side. There is a risk of increased polarization of political and social issues. Certain metaverse content may be programmed in such a way wherein you may be, there is a risk, a potential risk of you as a normal common citizen to start developing bias, either positive or negative, towards a political party, towards a country, towards a company, or towards an ideology. Risk of increased dependence on technology. More and more technology dependence is increasing. Risk of decreased real world social interaction. चल आजा चाय पे बात करेंगे, एक छोटी सी टपरी पे जाके दो दोस्त मिलके बात करते, इसकी चक्कर social world interaction has got its own disadvantage. Risk of decreased physical activity. You would get bound to your chair, which would get upgraded to a revolving chair. Later, it would become a gamer's chair and whatnot. The screen in front of you may increase and that your physical activity reduce. Risk of decreased attention span and focus. I would request all of you to search, Google search. I have to mention Google search because now there is another search equivalent, which is ChatGPT. So right now, please Google search human attention span, 2023. Can anyone search and tell us what is the human attention span? You may unmute and share what did you observe. What is the average human span?
Sir, I think 20 minutes.
50 minutes, sir.
8.25 seconds.
8.25.
3.7.
8.25 seconds.
So I mean, I would say it's a world average, but for Indians, if we consider, it would be less than 10 seconds. Can I
Yeah.
assume that?
Yes, sir.
So every time you're looking at a screen, your attention span is less than 10 seconds.
True.
Within 10 seconds, you decide whether you are going to remain with that content or you flip over. The speed of scrolling, up scroll, right scroll, left scroll, and scrolling of mouse has reduced our attention span significantly. That is also helping the way we communicate the content, and eventually we have become a person who is deciding certain things, we are presuming certain things and then taking decision on the fly and moving further. That is at times not right thing.
Delivery 3
Sorry?
Huh?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't get you.
No, he was unmuted. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. So decrease empathy and emotional intelligence. We just discussed that. Increase surveillance and censorship. There is a high risk. People may be having censorship and surveillance around you because they are serving content. You are the product right now. There would be risk of data breach and hacking as well. But let us remain positive and have a look at the use cases in industry. Initially, while I was preparing the presentation, I thought of preparing one slide for each of the sector and then provide insights on how metaverse is changing that specific industry. But then again, after developing several slides, I realized that most of the benefits are common, and that is where I prepared this advantage and disadvantage slides before we cover the use cases. So here is the collection of use cases. We are going to cover 36 use cases in various industries. Real estate, people are buying land, selling land in virtual world. Gaming, multiple virtual reality games are in thing. Social media, unlike we are interacting with Facebook, now people are also jumping on to metaverse social media. There are various marketplaces on social media which helps you to sell either digital asset or physical asset. You can actually have a look at the painting which is being sold to you before it gets delivered to you in metaverse. There is a great opportunity for artists and designers to sell their creations. Fashion industry, we just observe various next generation clothing in the video. With everything, there is a huge opportunity for advertisers and marketeers to market these metaverse in digital as well as in physical world. There is an opportunity for retailers. More and more marketplaces are opening in metaverse. In fact, you can buy a land and create your own mall in metaverse. Sublets be small retailers or creators or artists or fashion designers. Multiple sports tournaments are happening in metaverse. Various banks are getting into metaverse to serve their customers. Multiple healthcare and wellness players are getting onto metaverse bandwagon. When you have an opportunity to create a parallel digital parallel of a manufacturing plant, then companies are creating digital twin of entire large scale factories and applying predictive, corrective analytics to make sure that their uptime is as much as possible. Multiple event management agencies are getting into metaverse, organizing concerts of various artists. Law enforcement agencies are getting into metaverse. Various law firms are also getting into metaverse, and there are lawyers who are guiding multiple companies who are getting into metaverse. Travel and hospitality, like Swiss holidays, Swiss tourism implemented metaverse experience wherein before you go to certain Swiss Alps and then have a holiday there, they will provide you a metaverse experience, and then you would have that wow feeling, and then you instantly book that holiday. Multiple entertainment, like you can see Bahubali in metaverse, wherein you would feel that the screen is not a 2D medium in front of you, but you are sitting and the story is being played around you. Virtual collaboration, like we are having a Zoom call here, we may have a co-working space wherein we can sit next to each other, share screens, and work with each other. Various telecom players are using metaverse for maintenance purposes. Various construction agencies, builders are also getting into metaverse. What are they doing? They are providing digital twin. I myself have investor can provide a digital twin of your real estate property. And if you have a digital property, we help you construct a real one. If you have a real one, we can help you get a digital replica of it. Various food and beverages companies are getting into metaverse. Tourism, adventures, agriculture. You can train farmers and extend those traditional farming knowledge to the next generation. Metaverse is being used in defense. The defense forces are getting trained to operate certain defense machinery, supply chain, photography, pharmaceuticals. Those lab experiments are happening in the pharma world. Conferences are being held. Insurance companies are getting into metaverse because they want to sell insurance products or digital assets. Multiple education companies are getting onto a metaverse. Space tech companies are getting into metaverse to help their customers understand the environment in which they operate. Space tourism is getting into this bandwagon. Various companies are using space tech to extend the real scenario to their prospective investors. There is a huge opportunity for learning and development consultants around. Entire research and development may happen in metaverse. There is zero waste, and the real experiment with help of AI and multiple virtual assistants would expedite the speed at which the research is happening right now. Various IT and IT enabled service companies are getting into metaverse because people who are in metaverse need customer support, they need tech support, they need new solutions. Multiple smart cities are being built in metaverse. Civil defense, police is using metaverse to a certain extent to train the next generation police force for metaverse policing. And last but not the least, adult content. The porn business is also booming in metaverse. Lot many things are happening around us in India, and here are certain news items. I have captured the real screenshot so that at least you can understand very well. Like Shemaru becomes the first player to open a cinema on metaverse. They've chosen Decentraland metaverse, but Shemaru is the first company who built a cinema entire multiplex on metaverse. You can visit Shemaru and then watch a movie of your choice. Airtel has become India's first telco to launch multiplex in metaverse. So they have a hybrid as well as fully virtual experience. And this was way back in June 2022. In the first, you would be surprised, a public sector bank, PSU, Union Bank of India has launched virtual banking launch in Metaverse. And if you can read, as per sources, country's largest lender, State Bank of India, is also in final stages of launching a Metaverse store. This was back in July 2022. Hockey India, unlike we have BCCI for cricket, Hockey India is one of the supreme authority for hockey in India. Hockey India has entered Metaverse with Hockeyverse, and games, education, tournaments, merchandise is being sold, traded in Hockeyverse. This was way back in Jan 2023. In recently, in December 22, Mahindra also jumped onto Metaverse bandwagon and they started offering a test ride of Mahindra XUV 400 EV version in Metaverse. Hyundai has also got a experience zone in Metaverse in January. Pune's RKDM Raja Dinkar Kelkar Museum is in Metaverse, and this was also in Jan 2023. Charity is happening in Metaverse. हर कोई अब Metaverse में आ रहा है तो फिर charity वाले भी Metaverse में चले जाएंगे ना. So there is an Indian philanthropist, Shyam Narayan. He has launched a first Metaverse venture philanthropy platform. Musicians are in Metaverse. E.R. Rahman enters world of Web3, unveils Katrar, a Metaverse platform. Reliance Industries became the first Indian company to post earnings call on Metaverse. Unlike TikTok, there is another company called Triller has developed a platform for Metaverse users. Our Bangalore airport, the new terminal T2, can be experienced in Metaverse. It is the world's first airport terminal to go in Metaverse. So a digital twin of the airport is available in Metaverse. Unlike you are traveling physically in walking into Bangalore airport and moving in the lobby, you can also move in Metaverse. And look at this news. Just a month ago, a pool of people celebrated Christmas in Metaverse. And this is a Indian event company which organized a party in Christmas party in Metaverse, and 500 people joined. Religion is also not left behind. Durga Puja also entered Metaverse in September 30, 2022. And this is the latest one. You would have seen this on 26 January. This is the picture of tableau of Ministry of Education, Government of India. The theme of the tableau was from Veda to Metaverse. And Ministry of Education is giving such a high importance to Metaverse, wherein they have displayed various aspects of Metaverse on Republic Day parade. So let us cover use cases in education. Virtual classroom for remote learning. Virtual labs for experimentation. Virtual field trips. You can go on an excursion of a nuclear power plant, which may not be feasible until now. But when the entire plant is in Metaverse, you can go on virtual trips as well. You can visit Google data centers. You can visit Amazon data centers. You can visit Amazon jungles. You can form virtual study groups between two students. Unlike we are having a work group discussion or professional discussion, you can form virtual study groups. Various language immersion programs. Conduct mentoring and coaching in Metaverse. Conduct various career fairs, job training, certification and accreditation programs. Conduct various conferences, events in Metaverse. Study abroad. Now you can remain in India and study abroad. Various college tours. You can also sell study abroad programs wherein you are selling admissions of foreign university to Indian students. Various student clubs and organizations can go on in Metaverse. Teacher professional development can happen in Metaverse. Student counseling and support via a human assistant or a virtual assistant or a AI assistant can happen in Metaverse. Portfolio building, the entire various service aspect consulting can be brought in Metaverse. Various study aids, resources can be brought in Metaverse. There is a huge opportunity for academic who are into curriculum creation can get into this bandwagon early and then catch this opportunity. Special need education. Certain people have got certain special needs. Those Divyang people can get benefited with Metaverse. Entire K-12 education can go into Metaverse. Higher education can get into Metaverse. There are executive education, lifelong learning opportunities, coding, programming education. You may not need physical labs, but the virtual lab would help you conduct various classes. Art and design education. There is no wastage. There is no wastage of any resources, and you can conduct those art and design education. Literature and language education, history and social study education, science education. When I say history and social studies, you can actually take certain your students to those historical places and help them understand in more virtual and visual environment. Health and wellness education, like delivering CPR, delivering first aid, can be done in Metaverse. Entrepreneurship education, wherein the student will have more hands-on experience in learning. Virtual music and drama education, digital drums, digital guitar can be played, taught. Sports and physical education, yoga can be taught and practiced, and classes can be conducted. People can undertake exam and get certified. Various environmental education, you can help people explain and visualize the impact of environment and the need of action. Business education, adult learning, rural education can be connected easily because now 5G is going to be uniform all across India. The same speed would get delivered to a taluka headquarter and to a Mumbai metro. Education for veterans, guidelines for immigrants and refugees can also be delivered via Metaverse. Education for people with disabilities, people with homeless can be delivered. People with low literacy levels can be given more visual learning. Developing countries, there is a huge market for extending these classes to developing countries. You can seamlessly deliver education in stricken areas because the entire experience is virtual. In war-torn countries, without risking your life, you can deliver quality education. And there are multiple other use cases up to various extending remote working environments, even for teachers and non-teaching staff as well. So with this, we come to the end of my talk for the day. I'm happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. And now we can get into a Q&A session. Back to you, Sengupta sir.
Yeah, I think that Chintan, a lot of interesting at the same time intriguing points. I will touch base with you later, but let the participants get a chance first to interact.
Sure, sir.
People can unmute and ask any question. We
Hi,
have 10-15 minutes per question.
hi, sir. Good evening. This is Venkatesh here. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah,
Yes.
Venkatesh, you are possible.
Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mr. Chintan. I think it was the most simplest way of explaining and sharing the concepts of metaverse. It was so nice and so easy to, even a layman can understand. I'm really, really thankful for this beautiful presentation, especially the first part of the Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. I think that was amazing. Thank you for that. So my question is pertaining to the latest development of the Chat GPT, which we've been talking about a lot. And so the question is there a possibility of Chat GPT being integrated into the universe of Meta? And what could be the possible, business opportunities or possible, consumer or what could be the possible differentiation a company could do if they could integrate Chat GPT in the metaverse universe. So,
Yes, so the positive use cases and benefits are you can have Chat GPT by your side to take better informed decision.
right. So
And the dark side is so-called pseudo creators, so-called pseudo researchers, so-called pseudo patent filing may happen,
okay,
right? Where the patent, the research, the concept is not actually created by a human, but by certain AI tool. So that also is a negative aspect. But positive aspect, you can have ChatGPT and use ChatGPT to take better informed decisions. I mean, it is just the change of user interface. Until right now, if you and me are discussing things, and if I want to refer Google, I can always refer Google and then take certain decisions. But what Google throws me is a, a collection of hyperlinks. I need to click on it and then arrive at a decision. While what ChatGPT experience differentiates is it actually understands the question and responds with a summary of answers.
so okay, great. Thank you. And one more last question.
Yeah.
We look at technology which is highly expensive, very huge cost implications happen whenever a technology is adopted, and especially the sector like an MSME or a sector which has got a low amount of high amount of constraints when it comes to innovation and implementation. What would be your thoughts on any sector like an MSME to actually adopt to any latest technology? This is more from an option kind of a perspective. What would be your views and thoughts on how an MSME or a small companies should go about adopting a technology?
Yes, so there are various types of MSMEs. MSMEs who welcome innovation, they try new things. And there are traditional MSMEs who think they have reached the epitome of whatever they wanted to do, right? And they do not welcome innovation. Unlike we observe in our colleagues as well, there are people who are continuously reading and who are keeping their curiosity alive. And there are people who feel that this is going to be the life. सुबह में टिफिन लेके ऑफिस आओ, शाम को टिफिन लेके घर जाओ. The same thing is with MSMEs as well.
Yeah, I think we went to the next question, please.
Agarwal sir, you will have to unmute yourself.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
I'm N.K. Agarwal. My question is simply this. You have mentioned in one of these slides that there is an increased risk of data hacking and data misuse. Now, this is a big question which is going on in all technologies which are being developed, and there is a big risk. So my question was whether anything is going on in parallel for avoiding this or detecting any frauds or data mismanagement, data hacking and all that.
Yes, so everyone is trying to protect their own creation, their content. But hacking is something which is going to be continuing as a profession.
That's right.
Yeah, so it has become a parallel profession as well. And this is where we need to be very cautious. The right data should be shared with right people, right ideas. It seems my video is frozen. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we're able to hear you. Go ahead. Chintan, you can go ahead.
Hello? Am I audible?
You can go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
you're
as I
audible.
mentioned, right. Yeah, so right data needs to be shared with right people. Same thing, right right data needs to be shared with right people, and right idea also needs to be shared with right people. There are people, there are people. See, current social media is designed in such a way that wherein one-upmanship is at the foundation of it. I posted, I got 15 likes, and you posted, you got 26 likes. Now, tomorrow I am going to beat you and I am going to create something wherein I will get 50 likes. So
See, the question is,
entire the structure is such that it is not the quality of content, but it is the count of likes that matters. There may be
see,
certain good quality content which is not understood by people, right?
see, that's exactly the reason, because it's a new technology. Not many people are familiar with this. And if they get into this and become a victim of this hacking and other things, it's going to be a big problem for them.
Sir,
That's
there
why
is
this
always
question.
a dark. Yeah, there is always a dark side. हम लोग street पे चल के जाते हैं, pocket मार के चला जाता है. That is also called hacking in physical world, right?
Thank you
But
very much.
however, be assured, we are having the biggest 5G network rollout in our country. We are having cheapest internet data available in the country. We are having the highest number of English speaking population in the world. We are having the highest number of young lot in our country, and we are the IT capital of the world. तो सर मेटावर्स हम लोग नहीं करेंगे तो और कोई करेगा क्या?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next question, please. People can unmute and ask.
अच्छा है, हैकिंग है तो सिक्योरिटी गार्ड का भी तो जॉब बना रहेगा ना?
Professor Swapna wanted to ask something.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Two
Please.
questions. You mentioned curriculum creation. So how expensive will this be? And second question, by when do you think Metaverse will make teachers redundant?
Teachers will never be redundant because
Thank
customization of
God.
education cannot be replaced by technology. A guru cannot be replaced. You can have an encyclopedia, right? But the encyclopedia did not replace any teacher. So gurus cannot be replaced by any technology.
And the first,
गुरु ने अपना गुरु चाबी अपने हाथ में रखा है.
There was one more part of that question. That how much? How
that
much
was about
cost?
curriculum creation. How expensive would it be? Will an individual teacher be able to afford it, or only the big universities?
So right now, because it is, I would say we are in the adoption phase. So the cost of developing the curriculum as an independent faculty would be higher. It can be afforded by university or even government. Government can kick off a project and then develop curriculums in Metaverse. However, there are two main skills. One is actually designing the curriculum, and second one is digitizing it. And third one is actually coding and putting it in the content form, right? First one is what needs to be taught, how it needs to be taught, the entire pedagogy, the various layers which are involved in designing a curriculum. Second one is designing the experience to deliver that curriculum. And third layer is actually coding.
Thank you for a very interesting session.
Next question, please.
I saw someone had a question in the chat.
Sir, I have question.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Sir, with the implementation of this technology, then whatever the existing labs available in any technical institute, will it become redundant or they will not be used at all?
Yeah, it would become redundant. There are many parts of your electronics lab have already become digital, right?
Right.
The same thing would scale up, and then the rest of the things will not be required. However, lab assistants are required.
Okay. Thank you.
Any last one or two questions? Anybody? Dr. Shobha, would you like to ask something? Dr.
Yes, sir.
Koel?
I
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
was,
yeah,
yes. Yeah, I
yeah, please
was
go ahead.
just wondering, we said lifelong learning can be made possible with this. Now, I'm just trying to figure out with the technological challenges that, let's say, the older generation, let's not call them geriatric, basically, how do you think things could be made easier for them?
So there are multiple ways. One is extending learning in vernacular language,
Okay.
helping them visualize, helping them reconnect with their own thoughts so that they can register and retain those thoughts, the new knowledge.
Mhm.
Third thing is helping them rewind and then learn at their own pace.
Okay.
Right. So these
And
are the kind of aspects.
technologically, how user-friendly can it be made?
It can be delivered in Nagpur Marathi to Puneri Marathi.
And in terms of technology, user friendliness?
It is totally user friendly. It can, so humans are only designing the user interface. It can be as much as possible. It can be made human friendly and
Okay.
user friendly, I would say.
Really looking forward to a lot of educational interfaces.
Did
Thank
you,
you so much.
has anyone read a news item wherein a voice sample of 3 seconds can create your voice as if you are talking? Look at
Okay.
the security threat.
Hmm.
Someone can capture 3 seconds of my voice to create my voice and then make record something which I wouldn't have ever spoken. The size of the sample is just 3 seconds.
But this will
Earlier it was
actually, yeah, sorry, sorry to interrupt, but this actually is going to be a deterrent for, people who are a little, not the younger people, but people who are like you and me, who are probably very worried as it is of cybersecurity. On top of that, you tell me that, things could be misused. Wouldn't it be a more of a deterrent than an encourager?
no, it would be, I would say that I love technology. So that is where I'm saying I'm looking at it positively because यार कोई धोंडू राम का वॉइस रिकॉर्ड करने क्यों जाएगा? करना ही है तो अमिताभ बच्चन का करेगा ना. And this technology is so expensive that people would prefer that let us retain and monetize voice of Amitabh Bachchan than some other citizen of this planet.
Thank you.
One last question. Anybody?
Yes, sir. May I ask?
Yeah. Professor Shankar Rao is from school. Yeah, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yes, sir. Mr. Oza sir has told that there is if you continuously use the metaphor, there will be a declination in the empathy and emotions. Now, in the primary section, when we teach the children, we actually pay much of attention towards developing these emotions, empathy, and behaving well with the group. Now, if this kind of teaching is introduced, all these things which we are supposed to teach will go missing. Then, how do we develop these values in the children by the
We
use
can
of this
develop
method?
new exercise. So there is a huge opportunity. We can develop new exercise, new curriculum, and then teach them certain skills, right?
No skills we can develop, sir, but empathy and emotions, which are
Empathy and
something very
emotions
different.
also, yes. So those exercises, so those workshops also can be conducted.
Because child who is learning through the metaverse will be isolated, as you said.
No, it's not isolation. It's not isolation because in class there would be 40 people joining as a student in their virtual avatar.
Virtual avatar, no,
Yeah,
not physically.
not physical. So that is where
So your
that is
mindset will change. I feel
no,
so.
no, 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 no. So as far as you said empathy, so now you and me, two people can converse on a social media platform and then be empathetic while listening to other person,
Right.
right? So empathy will not vanish,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
I
Those
think
virtual student will always be empathetic while they are engaging with their girlfriend, be it in real, even in virtual world. Right? You need
That-
not teach. We as
right.
teacher need not
Right.
teach. That
Right.
human skill will naturally pop up when they interact with their girlfriends.
Right. Even emotions.
Emotion, exactly. You need not teach it. It will pop up even in virtual world.
Okay. Thank you, sir.